Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be working on the garage. We're gonna do some framing, I'm gonna do some plastic, and I might get crazy and put up some galvanized steel. So let's see what happens. So my plan with the garage is to make the inside look like an old barn. So I need to put up some insulation, I need to put up some framing, I need to put my walls up. I've looked into buying old material like old steel, old wood. I did that in my old garage. It was ridiculously expensive. People are selling stuff by a board foot instead of just selling me the whole board, which is pretty frustrating. So I said, screw that. I'm gonna buy all new stuff and I'm gonna age it a little bit within reason. Now, I'm a very practical person. I'm working on customer cars in here. I'm working on the garage. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff in a short period of time. So I'm gonna do stuff that's somewhat easy and simple and cost effective because I just gotta get it done. I think I could do all that within the parameters of, affordable, but look cool at the same time. Okay, I silicone the steel to the floor here. Again, I'm not your construction expert. Then I silicone where they put the two posts together. But being in Virginia, close to the coastline, I feel like with the crazy rain we get here, probably a good idea to silicone all that. So, again, people in the comments, let me know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I'm just trying to do a good job with what I have. I've been bracing it up with wood. This is really just gonna hold my walls. It's not structural, so kind of just doing what I have to do to get my walls up, not too worried about structural, but we'll see how it goes. A friend of mine, Keith, he's helped me a lot during this process. He came out and looked at the ground, told me where to cut the trees down, told me how much dirt and how to level it. He came over and helped me shoot a transit to make sure my dirt was level. He came out and checked my concrete. Then after the building was up, he came out and inspected the building and gave me suggestions on how to insulate it and how to put my walls up and stuff like that. And since he actually has experience in this field and I don't, I'm just, whatever he says, I'm just doing it. So he said, when I put the 2x4s up to start walling off my garage, he said that I need to have something between the 2x4s and the steel so the wood doesn't sweat against the steel and it doesn't have any effects against the wood or any effects against the steel holding moisture up to it. He said to put some plastic up. So I did that. I put up the 7mm plastic. I hung it from the ceiling, then I just put my 2x4s up against it. Now I just used wood to steel screws, so all the 2x4s are wood to steel against the uprights. I'm not worried about 16 on center, this on center, or that on center. My walls and the structure is already there. I just want to put 2x4s up to hold insulation, and I want to put them up just to hold what I'm going to use on the wall. I'm going to hang some tools. I'm going to hang like a pegboard, nothing super heavy. So that's my idea about how I'm framing it. Keith knew all the information. Keith knew all the information of what I was going to do with the wall. So he said, this should be fine because it's not really structural. And I want to nail everything in. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on screws and take forever zipping everything in. I just want to hammer it in with the nail gun and be good. So 2x4s going up, cross brace them a little bit. Makes it a lot easier to put my insulation. Now when it comes to putting my insulation in, I'm doing it just a little different because my center is not the same size as your typical construction. So just running them out this way, pretty simple, and staple them into the wood. It's gonna work just like normal. I think it looks fine, and it's gonna give me a lot of radiant. It's gonna give me some good insulation for the summertime. Here in Virginia, I'm more worried about the heat of the summer than I am about the cold of the winter, keeping the heat in. I want to keep the heat out. So I'm gonna have a mini split in here, and I'm trying to do everything with that in mind, that the mini split, and I want to have an insulation in here and be able to keep the cold in. Now, since I didn't want to go out and source old materials, I want new materials because I want to just be able to keep buying it, keep working on it. A little sporadic about what I'm doing because I bought one load of material. I wanted to put that one load up and see what my walls are going to look like in the end. I had it all in my head. I tried a bunch of different stains out on the wood and figured out which stains I like, but I still want to see it up before I do a whole sheet of something and decide that I don't like it. I want to do as much as I can in one little area. If I don't like it, I can rip that one little area off and change it up. So I think going with this galvanized steel was awesome. It's all brand new. On the inside, it looks great. On the outside, it looks rough. I like how it turned out. It's a little glazed. Some of it's rust, some of it's just glazed and not that rusty. I'm fine with that. Imperfections is kind of what I'm looking for. I want it to look like an old barn on the inside anyways, so this didn't take too long to do. Once I figured out the process was squirt it, let it sit all day long, let it eat itself away. And I found out when some leaves fell on it during the day when I wasn't looking at it, those areas rusted out really well. I guess the leaves held the acid up against it, but make sure you put these on a level plane so that acid can just sit and soak for a couple hours before you try to let that drain off, then squirt with the hydrogen peroxide. And that is what worked out the best. So I'll be able to age a bunch of steel and be hands off. I get to spray it, come inside, work on cars. Then in the afternoon I can rinse it off and spray it with hydrogen peroxide. So that worked out great. It's how I want it to look. I wanted it to be a little bit more aged, but that's okay. You know, I'm not gonna spend bunch of hours on trying to mess with this stuff. I got to keep it rolling. So I like how that turned out. All my baseboards on both sides, the top and the bottom of the steel, is going to have this wood on here. So let me grab this. This is what this is going to look like, top and bottom. So I think that's going to look pretty nice. Pretty simple. I'm going to run all my outlets off of this. So all my outlets are going to be probably right here or right here. I don't know. Once I get everything up, I'll be able to decide. But I think I want to put all the outlets right here, right on this board. All right, so I'm pretty glad I did a section so I could get my mind right on how it's going to work and how it's going to look. After I got the boards up, I wish they were a little bit darker, but I think I'm just going to roll with that. It's not too bad of a color. And once I get a full row up, this is how I'm going to lock it in together like this. So you can kind of see how it's going to look. I like the look. There's good 2x4s in here. So this wall is nice and strong in case anything knocks against it, because I'll be working in here. There's going to be a workbench right here in the corner. So, you know, this is going to see a lot of work. Insulation was easy to put up. I went ahead and went with the fiberglass insulation. And I think it turned out pretty good. Hopefully this is going to keep it cool in here in the summertime. On this side, the insulation goes all up to the ceiling. So I think everything works out pretty good. I can't wait to actually put a whole wall, get a whole wall finished so I can get a good idea of how the whole garage is going to come together. I'm very excited. I like how everything's turning out. And I'm glad I did a bunch of tests and test strips. So it's working out pretty good. So hopefully when you guys are watching this year, you'll see this whole garage transform into this and look really nice, real old school. I'll hang up all my old tools and stuff in here, some old signs. So I'm very excited. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Hey guys, I'm in the middle of building my shop and making it look really nice. I'm gonna have a full wall dedicated to military and first responders. In case you didn't know it, I was in the Army, so I'm very pro troops, very pro first responders. So I'm going to have an entire wall in my big shop dedicated to military and first responders. I'm gonna have a bunch of pictures of all my family members that were in the military, which is a lot. Some days I think me and Lieutenant Dan had the same family tree, probably. If you guys want to send in your patch, your military patch, your firefighter patch, your police patch, if you want to send it in, I'll send you a free wired custom sticker back to you, and I'll add the patch to my wall. If you have anything that's military related to your service, or you have a father or a grandpa or something, and you want to dedicate something like that to my military wall, so it's going to be a tribute to all the branches, first responders, all that kind of stuff. If you'd like to donate something to go on the wall, send it into my address. Get with me on Instagram or Facebook so we can privately message each other. But I will send you back a free sticker. If you send something big, I'll send back a free shirt. The only thing I'm trying to do is have a nice dedication wall to military and first responders. So thank you guys. What do you think of the new garage, Bullet? Bullet, what do you think of the new garage? It's not nice enough yet? No approval? Come on. What do you think of the garage, Patchy? Just want me to play fetch, don't you? You're just using me. You're just using me.